want you to watch this little exchange that I did. It's like a little snippet that I did because I think I know a lot of you are dealing with this with somebody that you know in your life. So take a look at this really quick and we'll come back. Hey, are you going to come over on Sunday for dinner? No, I'm not going to be able to make it, but thank you for the invite. I appreciate it. Oh, well, why not? Because I'm not available. That's why. I mean, can't you just make it for like 10 minutes? Or like just pop by. Like I'll have your favorite food. Like, come on, please just come by. I'm getting a little uncomfortable with where this conversation is going. I'm not available and I'm grateful for the invite, but I'm just not coming. And I'm really not going to continue the conversation about it, but I do appreciate it. Oh, okay. And this is an important one. I tell you, I cannot express to you how many times me personally before you get on the other side of things, like you're just like, oh my God, why can't people get the answer is no? Or why can't people understand it from my perspective? And this is making you frustrated. And then you go, my mom frustrates me. My husband frustrates me. My boss frustrates me, right? Well, of course, by the way, you're a human being. Note to self, people are going to frustrate you. Right? Anytime you live or you work with somebody or you see them on a regular basis, it's normal. People are going to pluck your nerves. But where it becomes problematic is where you're getting frustrated and then you're going, well, they're not respecting my boundaries. You're not holding them. It is a human natural thing for us to want what we want when we want it. I am no different than anybody else. If I'm like, ooh, I really want that. I want that right now. Now. We all want what we want, but that's where self-awareness comes into play. Not everybody is going to be on that self-awareness journey at the same pace as you are, if you're even there yet, right? And this is also important on the flip side if this is you. If you're like, well, but they said no, but I mean, like, why not? Like, no, pump your brakes. You need to check yourself because it is their boundary. Right? You don't have to understand it. And sometimes if you know their reasoning, you're not going to like the reasoning anyway. It's not going to be enough for you. But you have to be able to hold your boundaries here. And you're going to have to know this. People are going to be mad at you. Just accept that now. Okay. If you are people pleasing and you are in that space, so many videos coming up on that. But if you're stuck in that people pleasing phase and you're doing all of those things and you don't want people to be disappointed and you don't want people to be mad at you, you will always find yourself frustrated because you're going to always go, God, why can't they just get it? Like I would understand it. I would get it. Then we go into that weird expecting people to be as you are and do as you do. So it can become problematic. So I want you to be very clear that a person in general is going to try to push their boundaries until you tell them otherwise. I use this example a lot. It sounds like a silly example, but I want to give it to you again. If I have a fence, and let's say I decide to put a fence in my front yard, but I don't have a entrance into that front fence. You have to go all the way around my backyard in order to get into the back fence because the front fence, when you park, has no entrance. Well, you might be like, that's the stupidest design I've ever seen in my life. You might hate it. You might come in. You might be like, oh my God, it took me an hour to find the entrance. You might complain about it. And I go, well, it's my design. I like it. You still might hate it. You'll come to me next week. You'll come to me 2 weeks later. You'll pull up. You'll be like, this is still the stupidest design. But you're going to stop saying it to me. And then after 6-7 months, you're just going to be like, you're going to forget that it's a stupid design. And even if it is, it's not important. You're just going to park and you're going to turn around. You're going to walk through that back door. It is training people. I know it sounds like weird, but you do have to train people just like you have to be trained in demonstrating what it is and how you want to be treated and what your boundaries are, right? You have to train people that way. You have to be trained in understanding what someone wants and needs, vice versa. So you can't expect somebody off rip to be like, all of a sudden you're establishing boundaries and they're going to be like, oh, sure, I got you, no problem. And I've said this countless times, but it is a huge issue for people because you go, they keep messaging me about Easter dinner or Christmas dinner. And I keep telling them, no, why do you keep telling anybody anything? That's the problem. Stop it. Stop. Accept that people are going to be upset when they don't get their way. How many times, I've been there, how many times have you gotten your feelings a little hurt when you didn't get your way? You were like, well, I don't like that. Well, because we're human, right? So you have to be in remembrance that these are people and you're still learning your own boundaries, and you're not even setting a boundary. You're setting an idea. You're like, all right, everybody, if I say no, it's no. Okay. She's getting her power again. Right now, people are just going to be like, oh God, it's the boy who cried wolf all over again. Right? So now you go, okay, I'm going to say no. Okay. I got you. And then they know you say, oh, can you help me move? Or can you do da, 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 da? No. Oh, she's doing that no thing. Okay, come on. All right, come on. Like, seriously, you know that I've helped you before. Come on. Like, they're going to bypass all of that. So that's why you have to hold it and be okay with blocking people. Block them. You don't have to block them for life. But when somebody realizes that you're not going to engage and you're not going to change their mind and you're not going to entertain that, they have two choices: accept it or don't. But in this area, that's where that lives. It goes the same for you. If someone says, no, you don't like it. Okay, well, you get to process it. But after a while, you're going to understand, and they're only going to understand it and start to respect that boundary when you are consistently practicing that boundary. You have to be consistent. This doesn't mean repetitiveness. This doesn't mean, well, I just don't understand. Well, you said no, and I just don't understand. Well, that's okay. I mean, that's it. That's okay. That's okay that they don't understand it. And it is okay. It's okay that they're a little pissed off. It's okay that they're upset with you. It's okay. It's fine. You got to be okay with that, because you are creating your own issue of annoyance. And then you're blaming the other person. They're doing what they're going to do, and they're going to get away. People are going to get away with what you tolerate. Okay. So the more you tolerate it, the more they're going to do it. Let me give you a totally different example. You have a dentist appointment. Okay. Dentist appointment reminders says, hey, newsflash, it's 24 hours beforehand that you get a text. Are you going to be able to make your appointment? Yes or no? And then it says, if you don't cancel before 24 hours, you are going to be charged $150. Just go with that. Right? Well, that's on you now. That's not on them. So if you are busy and you see your text message and you forget to cancel, you're like, I forgot to cancel it because I was in the middle of something. And then you call them the next day and you go, oh my gosh, listen, I'm really sorry. Like, I totally forgot to cancel. Like, okay, like they're supposed to work around you. Listen, I totally forgot to cancel. Listen, I'm sorry. Like, please don't bill me. You're wrong. You're in the wrong now. They told you, if you do not cancel this, you are going to be billed. If you did not do it, that is a you issue. Okay. So you got to keep in mind that the consequence, and I bet you the next time you'll be a hell of a lot more aware. You'll be like, oh my gosh, let me respond to this yes or no right now. Right? You'll be more aware. Why? Because sometimes you have to touch the fire to know it's hot. Right? So sometimes people are going to have to just figure it out on their own. The repercussions, though, don't have to be aggressive. They don't have to be rude. They don't let them take it as rude, because I'm going to tell you right now, the moment you say no and you don't give them follow-up, you're going to be called everything under the book, from rude to self-absorbed, blah, blah, blah. They're just trying, right? Do not be rude. You do not engage in that battle, right? They're frustrated. So they're going to try to hit below the belt. Okay, so this goes into your consistency and the level in which you're going to hold that consistency. This is a good learning point here. If you are afraid to make someone mad or disappointed, now it's a deeper you issue. And how much are you willing to keep abandoning yourself, right? Because this is a question. How much are you willing to abandon yourself for the pleasure of other people?